Good morning, friends, and welcome back. I'm going to show you how I took this box that was originally a gift box for people at weddings to put cards and gifts into, and I turned it into this beautiful gem, which I will use for receipts myself. And I wanted to thank you for commenting in my last video about the move that we are looking at. I would say 9.5 out of 10 of you said we should definitely move. So we're working on getting things fixed up. Now I got this in the wedding department of the craft store because it was on sale there, but they weren't on sale anywhere else in the store. So what I did was I removed the hardware first. And make sure you put this aside someplace so that you don't lose any of these pieces. That's really important. And guys, you know how we haven't been able to find the napkin decoupage glue anywhere? I think it's finally becoming more available now, but what I decided to do was a project where we did not need the DecoArt napkin decoupage glue, but the DecoArt regular decoupage glue, and I used scrapbook papers. You may have a lot of scrapbook papers already at your house. I actually had fun choosing the two different patterns that I wanted. So the colors were similar, but the patterns were different. And because I'm going for a more vintage look on this, I wanted to make sure I used matte decoupage glue. And here I'm just painting the trim with some chalk paint. It's a very matte, flat finish. Again, I don't want any gloss on this. And you see this little bit of paint here. I only did that to get the excess paint off of my sponge brush roller. It's morning. Bear with me, guys. So I did take the decoupage glue and I put it in a little cup. And I took a bottle of water because it helps to mist the paper lightly. This paper is a bit thicker than we're used to working with, so I just mist it a little bit. I put decoupage glue all over the surface that I'm going to cover, and then I put the paper over it. Make sure you focus on the very edges of these boxes. That's where the paper might come up. Now once you put this paper down, you want to line it up as perfectly as you can. You can pre-cut these. You can measure and cut if you'd like. That never works for me. I always do something wrong. And double check in very, very bright light to make sure that you don't have any air bubbles, and you still want to take a credit card or a brayer and work any of those bubbles out. You may have to carefully pick the paper up again and lay it down, but you really want to try on your first attempt to just get this as smooth as possible and be gentle with it so that you don't tear it. Now I find it a lot easier to go back in later and sand those edges off. You may not have this same type of box. I'm just using a razor blade to go in here and cut this opening from the top. I'll cut it open from the bottom and I will file that inside part away. And because it's not uncommon for these edges to come up, I'm just going around them again one more time with that brayer and with my fingers and my hand to make sure these are very firmly pressed down. And we're going to decoupage over the area where the hardware was, but don't worry about this because underneath the paper you will be able to see those raised spots. And this way, while it's wet, you can take a nail and go into those spots, so that makes it a lot easier to put your hardware back in. And here I'm just going back in with the nail and piercing the paper into those exact same holes to make it a lot easier to put the hardware back in. So what I did was I went around these holes with the nail, as you see, but I'm pressing these edges down again. You can see how nice and tight everything is on the edges, nice and straight rather. Now I'm taking a nail file, and in one direction I am filing away from the piece. You don't want to go back and forth, and you don't want to file upwards because you could pull the paper away from the box, and we really want to focus on these edges staying stuck down. So you can see this nice perfect edge that filing makes. I just love these nail files because they tend to be made for acrylic nails. They're very coarse. I can be pretty exact with them and get into tough spaces. And you can see the holes right here where I will be putting the hardware back in. And I'm going to finish decoupaging the rest of the box. Now, because the paper takes quite a bit longer to dry than the napkins, I waited until everything dried. I gave it about 3 or 4 hours, and then I went back in and I gave it another 2 coats. I went around the top and I went around the sides, and I am using this decoupage glue as both my glue and also the top coat because it's going to give it a nice matte finish. Again, I'm focusing on these ends, on the top and the sides. I want to make sure everything stays stuck down. Occasionally, you may see an air bubble after you put a coat of decoupage glue on. In the event that you have a little air bubble or anything that you don't care for, just take a safety pin or a little pin and poke the hole to get the air out. But one other thing to keep in mind, we're adding embellishments to this, so if your problems happen to be on the outside or the edge, you may not need to worry about that at all. I found these wooden pieces in the section of the craft store where the birdhouses are, and I'm going to paint them first and let them dry, and then I'm going to glue them onto the bottom of the box, which is going to give it a little bit more of a special touch. I'm doing this technique called dry brushing, where you put a little paint on your brush and then you offload the brush. This is just a piece of paper towel, and you're left with a little bit of paint on the brush, and you kind of go around some of the edges to just age it a tiny bit more. And I am going around the whole box and I'm just lightly sanding some pieces so that it looks like this print, which is already quite muted, it's going to look like it's faded a little bit. And as I spin the box around, you can see how I've used that paint in some areas. So this is looking quite vintage and old. This is another reason that I wanted to use the matte decoupage glue by Deco Art, which is also a good sealer, so I won't need a top coat. Now, while that's drying, I'm going to show you what I guess they call a hack. You take hot glue and you put it inside the mold, which is kind of the coolest thing in the world because these become very flexible. You can paint them. They dry really quickly. And I have tried about 10 different brands of the air dry clay, and they've all got such different positives and negatives to them. But with this is the fastest way to make embellishments, and I'm just using a regular glue gun with regular hot glue. You carefully take it out, you pull away some of these strings on the edges. This is not my idea, of course. I've seen this all over YouTube. And then you paint them. Again, it's best to use the chalk paint. Look at that beautiful embellishment now. It's hot glue, or it was, and it's very flexible. My hands are a mess there, right? And it's very simple to glue to the surface. Just look at how these look once they're dry. You can also go in with a small pair of scissors. This is the back. You can go in with a small pair of scissors and clip away any of the strings or anything excess, but look at how flexible that is. If you're working on a bottle or any type of a curved surface, perfect. Because I'm going for this vintage look, I am taking this Deco Art or Americana product that is meant to age things, and I'm going to paint a little bit of this on there, and then I'm going to wipe it off just to age it a tiny bit more. And I have a couple of tassels here. I'm only going to use one, but I put a tea bag in boiling water and then I left this sit in there for about a minute. That's all it took, really. It stained it right away, and I took it out to dry, put it in the sunlight so it dried a lot faster. Now that the whole box is decoupaged and we've got the hardware back on, I'm going to glue these feet back on. I want to make sure they're all pretty much about 1/8 of an inch in from the both corners. And I am using a very good glue. You don't want to fool around with hot glue, which will have everything falling off. It just doesn't tend to work too well. So I'm using Gorilla Glue E6000. Either one of those will be good. And now we can begin to embellish. But first, you want to make sure you have a brick or a heavy book or something of that nature aside. I'm going to once again use the Gorilla Glue or the E6000 rather than hot glue because I want these things to stay on. I'm going to center these, hot glue them down, then I'm going to I'm going to center these and glue them down. I think I'm using Gorilla Glue here, or the E6000, and I am going to put a heavy book or object on top of it so that everything dries flat onto the piece. And the same thing with the legs. I want them to dry really well. And a couple of hours later, I took trim and I went everywhere around the top and the bottom of this box, and I even outlined the corners with this trim. And again, you want to make sure you're using a very strong glue. And I took 3 different ribbons. This is this beautiful vintage velvet looking thing. It's not vintage, it's just something that I'll put links down below for as much of this as I can, by the way. And I took pipe cleaners because I wanted to make 3 different ribbons. I think I made 4, and I just attached all of them together. So I made one regular bow here, tied it with the pipe cleaner, and I made smaller ribbons with the other 2 ribbons. I have lace and I have burlap, and I also used that same pipe cleaner to tie these up, and I made sure that the bow part was actually a little bit fluffy. And I took that tassel and I actually glued the tassel there using that same really strong glue. And now I'm going to glue the ribbon to the front of the box, but I want to glue it beneath the place where I'm going to open it. You can see I left a little space there in the trim so that I could glue this right here. And now here is how our beautiful little box looks. I am so excited with the way this came out between the colors, the bow, the trim, those hot glue embellishments. I'm going to show this to you in some different lights because depending on what light it's in, like most things, it just has a different look to it in each light. Here it is getting a little bit closer to the evening, and here is how the box is looking. You'll notice I did not paint the inside. You can always paint that inside. Since I am going to be using this for myself and my receipts, I'm not too worried about that inside. But my friends, thank you so much for subscribing, for sharing, for tuning in with me as often as you can. I'm pretty busy around here these days, as you know, so I will continue to post because I just feel compelled to get that creativity out of me and show you what I'm doing, provide links down below, and hopefully help you out with projects like these. And so I will see you guys very soon. Hope you're having a lovely spring. Take it easy, guys. Bye-bye.